Back out at the Collapsing Corner Store project on another frigid morning. We waited until about 11 a.m. for it to get up to about 25 degrees Fahrenheit, and allegedly it's supposed to get up to about 35, 36 degrees today. But we're almost to the warmer weather according to the forecast. This snow will be going bye-bye in the next few days as it warms into the 40s and then even the 50s. But for now, we'll suffer just a little bit longer. Let's get inside. If anything, it's colder in here because it was pretty cold overnight. We got our big heater going, and it's currently blowing onto the battery that's trying to charge, and it's a little cold for that. It'll get there. Anyway, last time we got more floor joists up and ran out, so we will get more joists, just not sure which day. And the big task with that is we need to add a whole bunch of blocking. So that's a project for some good busy work for a while. And then we'll probably maybe try to get some subfloor up there. We can probably bridge the gap, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But my big task for today is build some basement stairs. I'm going to remeasure as long as it gets past the plumber's trench, which I believe the bottom of the stringers do. We can do it. Either way, I can cut them. But it sure would be nice to have those in place finally. Getting stairs in is nice. Much better than ladders. So let's set up the laser, I guess, and we'll get some measurements. Blocking has been rolling along, a couple rows in, and I set up the laser down here. You can see it, and measured up and measured down to get the height correct. And turns out we need 7 5/16 inches of rise. That's pretty comfortable. We'll have a 10.5 inch tread. It'll actually end up a little bigger once the, it should end up with an 11 inch tread with the overhang. So I just set up the gauges here. Mark out on this nice, pretty straight. It was actually hard to find the crown. Hopefully it doesn't reverse crown itself after I cut it. Get that templated, test it out down below. And if all goes well, we'll cut 4 total. So with the span, we have a center row and one on each side. And then the exterior, since we have no rim, we have to block that as well to prevent any potential for rolling over. So those two will work together since we have 3 of us here now in the afternoon, and they'll knock out this with 2 of them probably pretty quick. And somebody wanted to use their own nail there.
Doesn't have the longer magazine.
Yeah. Well, for tight spots, that helps.
Yeah, but when you're doing subfloor, you want that.
Yeah, the bigger magazine. It is
It's a big trade-off.
kind of tight on the 12-inch centers. All right, before I start cutting here, I think they're moving the cut station, flip-flopping with the scaffold, but you can see marked out here. We'll cut it and test it. We'll have an inch tread on here, so got an inch off the bottom and a 1/4 inch off the back down here to account for the straps and nails. When doing stairs, I like to just cut the bottom and the top of the first stringer. Put it, wow, that's there we go. Put it on the line where it's going to go, and then check if it's good. And as you can see, That is, it's slightly off the line, so let's try slightly off, but we are good. And with it marked, you can check along the way with a level, and make sure it's actually good before you get in it too far. So down there, in a rare case for a basement, it's pretty much level across, so we can actually match these. A lot of times we'll have to do kind of a bit of custom cutting to make them work correctly at the bottom, but all good in this case. So pull this back up, and I can turn the laser off. I don't know why that's still on. And get up there, cut some more, and they're moving along with the locking. And while we're here, one of these days we'll maybe open this up a little more. You can see there's some rot in there. We're probably we need to run a wall along here anyway for fire separation between residential and commercial front and back. So, we'll support this better. Right now it's floating still, but that's not the highest priority at the moment. But that wall will be continuous along the side here to align with these joists here, get full 2-hour rated separation with proper rated doors as well, so you can get to the back or the front. All right, first one cut up, and like I say every time we do stairs, stringers only feel intimidating. They are really not that hard. The math is relatively simple. I always do it manually, and then I check it with an app just to verify, trust but verify. And then, marking it out once you got it set on your framing square, that's pretty easy. As long as you made your marks right and your test fit was good, all you gotta do is transfer it off your template to your next sets of 2x12s. The real key is do a nice job cutting. Don't overcut into the throat with the circular saw. Cut it out with a jigsaw, a reciprocating saw, a hand saw, judo chop it, do whatever. Just don't cut into that throat. It needs to be minimum 5 inches. Remember, that's all that's actually carrying the stairs, because you're cutting a chunk out along the whole length. So, do nice, good, clean work, and it makes the rest of the install easier as well when you do that. Meanwhile, they got this back section all blocked up, so now they can jump to the little intermediate spots. It's kind of goofy, whatever. Yeah, and we need to nail off that double still, which they're kind of bowed apart, so we'll need to start with a couple screws to tighten that up and check if the crowns match each other. May have to pull one down.
Screw them together.
Yeah, screw them up, please.
No, we're really good at that.
Yeah, I jokingly was going to name my construction business We Did It Right, because we did it twice construction. We specialize in making big boards into small boards.
Oh, and big nail racks into small.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some remnants of that down there still.
Yeah.
Somebody had an oopsie. And when you got an open area, scaffold on wheels makes it easier.
You want to go a little bit further?
I gotta stand on this.
Yeah.
All right, we have 4 2x12s here that are long enough. These need 16 footers, and we can do 3 stringers just fine on this. I really like that 4th, but look at the crown on this guy. When we picked it out at the store, it was pretty good, but sitting here, it decided it's not good. And this top stringer did cut the tension out of it and reverse crowned it, but we put a 2x4, screwed in each end, and then put it on the ground. Now, way to just interrupt. Thanks. Speaking of cutting tension out of boards. Same thing happened here. but we were able to get it straightened out with a 2x4 and just standing on each end and then screwing it. So good thing we had 3 people here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna throw this 2x12 to the side. We'll use it in the floor up front, and these other 2 are hopefully not goofily crowned. I don't know. We'll see. Well, sadly, this may be the last day that the pond is mostly frozen at the park. Don't want to go ice skating now. Maybe still a little time for sledding though. It's looking to actually be a decent day today, but we don't have the materials for the second floor yet. We're waiting on the LVLs to come into the lumber yard, and that just is what it is. So we'll head across the street and do a little bit of work at the Crumbling Corner store. You'll see that in different videos. I had the keyfer here out, so might as well take a look at the progress. Well, they still haven't gotten to the panel there, but got base and door trim going in. Looks pretty good. Of course, it all needs more paint and nail filling and all that stuff, but nice. Yeah. If I can focus in the dark. Alright, bead, no notch. That looks like a 1x4 and then an OG crown on it. It's a pretty typical. It does not like the low light conditions. So, hey, look at that. It's a pretty typical trim detail in this neighborhood. Very nice laundry room. It's nicer than my kitchen. We were gonna do that last year, and then I bought the bathhouse instead. So, cabinets are in, no countertops yet. And a little bit of the basin here.
Yeah, this is the
It's not a bad kitchen.
sink.
It's maybe, I mean, I like a big kitchen, but it'll be plenty functional. And vented outside properly. I always like to see that. Pop upstairs, see what's new. All right, through the hall here, through the goofy door that after the tax credit pictures in the sale, I'm sure somebody will just take off. But there was a door there, so there needs to be a door there. This bedroom's pretty much ready to go except for window casing. And then, well, that actually worked out pretty well with the mechanical closet next to the bathroom door. Just run the casing across and a piece up the middle. That works out. And primary suite back here with the 2 closets. That works. Not the most spacious primary suite. That's funny. The electric that is run up here is just kind of through the wall still, since most of the electric's not connected. But it, given the space constraints of a relatively narrow house, it works out pretty well. So, no vanities yet, but you can see the tub and toilet room. Floor tile in, but no shower tile yet. But does have that nice big window in there. So coming along pretty well over here. You can get a little bit of the floor if you haven't seen that previously. Nice wood window there. They do need a door still. That would probably save them some money on heating. Alright, we'll check back in again once it's a little further along. Alright, good news everyone. Curator's got the gallery all back put together. beautiful art is on display again. So stop by the Hard Hat Gallery anytime. Grab a drink at the flat bar. Peruse the beautiful works. Remember, art is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, so anyway, back at it on a slowly warming Monday morning. We started at 27 degrees and it looks like it's going to warm up to around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That's warmest in a while. So last time we were here, you'll remember we, among other things, cut the strings back there. Today, we're going to put them in place. So we got our LSCZ straps there. We'll pre-attach those, get them laid out and centered correctly. Carry those over here. Hopefully it's easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Lemonade. That sounds good. And then, at some point today, we have a big floor joist delivery arriving. At least I hope today, because that's what they said it would be. And then we have to carry him in the back door, and, well, I'd rather not. But sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. All right, before we can actually put the straps on, we're going to add a 2x12 here, because the, here, I'll actually grab and put it there. That's our line. As you'll see on a 2x10, 3 of the nail holes are below it, so just scab a 2x12 on. That'll take care of it nicely. And we had to go on the joist, so a little custom cut.
Yeah, more people in here.
We're gonna get 2 more screws.
Okay.
Window install out there. That's what you're hearing. In comparison to typical steps, this was easy getting them roughly in place. All we had to do was carry them over and lower them down, so I just lowered it down from the top. Dave caught them and pulled them out there. Now we got to get them into the correct height, screw them in, and hopefully it works out like the tested. It should. Let's try again. It won't slide out. That's there. It's slightly forward up here, as you would expect with the sag to the middle. I mean, but when I say slight, it's really slight. Like, if you were walking,
You wouldn't even feel it.
probably wouldn't even feel it. And here in the middle, it's basically level, kind of as you would expect, because it's square. And that's, I mean, it's gonna move up a little bit to make it right, but not enough. It's not enough that it would be a problem. Wow,
What?
that
Right on it?
barely long enough actually. It works.
So it works.
No, we don't need to alter.
Strapping. One right away.
Thanks.
Put one screw in
Put a
it.
screw in and then
Check.
check.
Alright, you wanna set this one right away then?
No, I want to screw these in. Okay. There's enough room, but it's easier when you can
Okay.
just stare at it.
Stare at it. Bad screw?
No. Well, actually, started doing the same thing again. Bad screwer. Not my level.
Yeah, you just dropped it on the floor.
Oh.
Just threw it on the floor. That's why I'm waiting.
I'm at a bad alignment to it, that's the problem.
Oh, okay. You need a realignment?
That could use a realignment. Wood. What? You're on the wrong side again. Where'd the little torpedo end up?
By the way, I don't know.
Oh, right here, in front of me. That's pretty good.
This middle one has got the bow in it too. Gotta have to fool with it a couple of steps to get it straightened
That's
out.
actually, it's.
Oh, where that one went.
That's just a broken off screw head in here.
Oh, really? Oh, well, that counts as one though.
Well, thankfully, you only need to use these steps one or two more times because between the plumbers and the snow, they're a bit dangerous at the moment. I don't really like that. Well, our delivery made it. Hooray! afternoon, but not too late to get it in, thankfully. So no overtime, not like overtime's a thing for us. And just rolling down the street. Normal day. Yeah, bit of a poorly placed streetlight, but can work around it. Just work it over, rotate it in. I figured it'd have no trouble breaking that. Well, given the available space here, and considering that he's got the Moffett that he can't drive just sideways, which is a pretty cool thing that some of them have, that's pretty darn good. I'll take it. We were thinking we'd have to carry it from like out here or somewhere over here, but just a nice straight shot in the door. Lumber delivery showed up right as we were putting the treads, temporary treads at least, on the steps, and that turned out to be pretty good timing, really. So we're going to clean up back here because don't want to just dump the materials on our sawdust factory. And while we're at it, let's take a walk on the new steps. Ooh, wow, comfortable. Got a touch of a shake. We'll add some more support in, but it's some nice new stairs, which sure beat the old stairs. If you're a regular viewer, you'll remember that they were in rough condition, to put it nicely, and actually just fell down one day. So, yeah. And normally, I like 4 stringers. 3's fine, but I like 4 just for that added support. But these are relatively narrow, so 3 is fine. In this case, they would be getting a little bit tight if we had 4 in there. All right, walk back up. Ooh, nice. Yep, that's good. All right, a little more cleanup and we'll figure out what is the best spot. But actually, you know what? I'm gonna header that off, I think. We'll cut these 3 outside on the stack before we move them in, put them up, and then everything we put here we won't need to work over. That's a good thought. Yeah. So I guess I'll measure that. You know, we ordered 32 2x12s, and it looks like they unbanded a package of 32 and then rebanded them. Uh-oh. Medical problem down there, apparently. So, the nice thing about 20-footers is you'll get some bad, but you also get some really nice joists in there because they're #1 grade. Look at that. That is joist closest to us, really clean pine. Unfortunately, that doesn't make it any lighter. It got up to 57 degrees Fahrenheit. It's about 18 Celsius today, and surprisingly, not much of the remaining snow and ice has melted off. I guess it has just gotten pretty dense in the piles at this point. But sure did feel nice for working. Alright, time to load up because it is late. We're here later than normal, but all the stuff had to get in. So you do what you gotta do. But sunset, it's still February, sunset's still pretty early relative to summer at least. But yeah, all in there, either on the floor, and we got 4 of them up there with the new header. They are not placed properly, they're just held up there. So tomorrow we'll get those into their correct lines. You can probably see we got it marked layout for it already. But it was already getting close to the end of the day when we lifted those up and still had to carry all the rest in here. So got this done in half hour or so, which is not bad for 32, well, -4, so 28 floor joists were still out there, plus the 4 LVLs. Yep, I'll take that. Like I said, tomorrow we'll get that, and we'll start filling those in. But that will be on the next video, since, like I said, we are out of time. So thanks for rebuilding with us. Make a big pile of big floor joists so you can reach up to that like and subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. And we're always happy to read comments. Love to hear thoughts. What do you have to say? What do you think we did right? What do you think we did wrong? What we could maybe do more efficiently? I don't know. There's more than one way to do everything. We like to think we're doing it the best way, but doesn't mean we are. But the final product is what really matters. And as long as we're all getting to a good quality structure, that's what matters at the end of the day. So again, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video out here at the collapsing corner store that thankfully just doesn't have much collapse left.